Let's talk about it. I am finally ready to talk about what really inspired my healing journey, and I have spoken in different platforms, bits and pieces, but not everything. So bear with me as I bear my soul with you. Hello, thank you so much for watching. My name is Kat, and I am a healer. I help amazing, beautiful women leaders that are also healers and also deserve to have their cups full and filled again and be able to be themselves as they do that. And today, this is the culmination so far of this playlist, this amazing series of videos where I'm sharing my healing journey and how I got here. And thank you so much for bearing with me. There were quite a few videos because I wanted to take my time. I wanted to do them justice, and I also wanted to be honest with myself. And it was beautiful to go back in time and figure it out. So when I recorded the last video, which is about my plant healing journey, plant medicine journey, which I highly encourage you for you to watch, it is amazing. I I thought, okay, I'm done. And then I'm like, hey girl, you haven't talked about the religious wound. You hadn't talked about your religious upbringing. You haven't acknowledged so many other things. And God has been such a beautiful big part of my life. And before you balk, before you freak out, stick around because I am very sensitive to other people's journeys. I'm very sensitive because I've been there myself. So please don't be discouraged by me using the word God, because I know for many they have to use other words like the creator or the universe because of their journey. And the old me couldn't even understand that and was offended by that. But God wasn't. He's like, girl, they're talking about me. I don't care. I know who I am. And that took a while. So please know that I understand if you call God something else, the universe, the creator. There was a time when I was really, really wounded and really, really hurt. I had to use the universe. I knew that he knew what I meant, but where I was, that's all I could muster to say. Okay. So back, let's go back all the way to the pandemic. You remember that in 2020? I was coming back from a mission trip. Like I was deep, okay? I was deep in. My dad's a pastor. Many of my aunts and uncles are pastors. I thought I was gonna be like a preacher. I was a preacher. I was in seminary. I grew up in church. Like my parents grew up in church. The parents grew up in church. Protestant, very, very. Don't say religious, but very dogmatic, very everything sin. And I didn't know anything else. So I thought that was just the way it was. And I knew God, but I didn't really, really have a personal relationship the way that I do now. And I didn't really understand because everything was a sin. God was always out to get me. It was all these things, right? And I got baptized when I was 17. And then I got baptized again when I really understood what I was doing in my mid 30s. And I'm glad that I did that. And I really knew God. I got to meet Jesus again, and that was better, but still not fully open, not the Jesus that is loving and kind and is always standing out for those that need defending, especially women, not that Jesus still, okay? So during the pandemic, I am deep into this church. I'm loving what I'm doing. I am serving. I went on a missions trip. I was just on freaking cloud nine. I was so happy. Okay. When I tell you, I remember the day that I was leaving to the airport, I called a friend that I hadn't talked to for a while, and I was telling her, and I was so rejoiced. I was so happy to be doing that. And I don't regret it for a second because it changed everything for me. And I was telling her that I was doing exactly what I was doing. Now, never mind, I was broke. I had neglected my business because all I was doing was preaching and shouting all the time. Not that there's anything wrong for that with that, but I think that we can love God and make money. I think we can love God and have a purpose, and be able to have a business in a preach if that's what you want to do, and share with others, which I love sharing and praying with people, and being nice and understanding and loving, not so judgmental. This is just my experience. My experience. So the pandemic happened and the veil fell. I was able to see behind the scenes from where I was, and this person that I was under had so many issues with me, and I did not see them. I am someone that doesn't get offended early. Like you have to be really overt for me to notice. People have made comments about my appearance or the way that I eat, which I love eating. And I will eat some what people would call weird things because I'm from the Caribbean and we eat things differently. So I would have people make comments. Sorry, I'm just gonna adjust here so I can be a little more comfortable. There you go. That feels better. And they will make comments, and my daughter will say, "Mom, that was it." And I will tell my daughter, right, just commenting about my day, and then like, "Mom, that was a dig about what you're eating," and I'm like, "What? Why?" And then she would explain it, and I'm like, "Oh well, too bad for her because I did not take it as a dig. I actually thanked them and smile, and I now looking back, I could see the confusion in their faces because I did not take it as an offense because I just wouldn't, right? So with this lady, there were so many instances where there were so many put downs, so much control, so much jealousy, where I was not playing that game. Okay, I was just happy to be there. I did not want her position, and now I can realize in retrospect, really, God really wanted to open my eyes and make me more of a loving person, and He had to break down the foundation to be able to build up something stronger, something deeper, something more beautiful. So when we came back from at the trip, the missions trip, everything just, and then she did say it. It's so funny. She said, "On this trip, your eyes will be open," and that's exactly what happened. We went on the trip. I could see everything the way it was. There were some comments that were made that was wow, so eye opening. And then the way that I am slow on the uptake, but once I get it, I get it. So I really saw it, and then I was able to roll back the tape, and I'm like, oh, but then she said this, but then she said that, and then this door was closed for no reason, and then this that happened, and then I was able to be like, whoa. And now imagine spending all that money to go on a mission trip, thinking that you're doing God's work and you're so happy to be there and you have this amazing community. And then you come back and then the whole world shuts down. My whole inner world is shutting down. I felt like God let me down. Of course, He didn't, but that's what I thought. And I was broken. And then I'm by myself. My daughter is spending more time with her dad. And I'm by myself. And who do I share this with? All my friends are Christians. All my friends are like in this world. And they were going through their own thing. The world was going through their own thing. And oh my God, it was heartbreaking. And I remember crying, and I remember swearing, and I remember I lived in this long apartment, like old Victorian apartment in a New England home, and I was just pacing back and forth, just like upset, really hurting. I was broken. I was like devastated, like, why is this happening, God? I'm doing all the things you said I should do, right? All the things He said I should do, right? um did He actually tell me that? Like, I read the Bible, I believe in the Bible, but the way that I was going about, right, the way that I was listening, second hand, third hand, and interpret it the way that they would interpret it in their for their own benefit, right? And I was devastated. I was devastated. I was crying all the time. The world was going to hell in a handbasket. I was seeing how racist people are. My eyes were really open to so many things, and I was just crying all the time. I'm like, how can this be the world that I lived? How is this going on? And I had no resources. My nervous system is completely shot because I was burned out, because I went back to my business almost immediately. But from a dysregulated point of view, I was completely dysregulated, and I it was not good. It was not good. So nothing was working because I was pushing, I was forcing things to happen, and they were not happening. And I went back to corporate because I knew that I could do that. I can always go back and make six figures very easily. It took me a little bit of time, but I did get there. And then almost immediately going back to corporate, I realized, girl, you need to work for yourself. You need to work for yourself. This is what you're supposed to be doing. And then I began to fumble, getting into different coaching programs. Another person that was supposed to be a Christian really hard sold me on this program. He could smell my desperation. He can smell how badly I wanted my business to work, and sold me this crazy, insane program, and then said, I can see God wants this for you. And even when he said it, my body was like, "Ugh," like, girl, what are you doing? And when you make a purchase and you feel bad almost immediately, you're like, this is shit. Smells like manure. Don't do it. But the fear of not saying no, and then now he said, God wants this from me, all these things, right? Pay all that money, $15,000, nothing. I'm dysregulated. the coach is not even there. It's other coaches. It's pre-recorded. I am not in alignment. I'm completely out of sorts. Of course, whatever I was trying to do was not gonna work. So I go in the spiral, trying to fix this, trying to make money, trying to find myself, and then disconnected from God at the same time. Completely disconnected with God is my anchor. God is my best friend. God and I tell God, jokes to God. I always been a person that believes. I believe, like I really, really believe in. I was broken. I was devastated, and I couldn't believe. And then I'm discovering my spiritual side. I'm discovering all these tools. I'm discovering somatics and hypnosis and all these things. And I'm thinking that I have to be separated from God in order to use these amazing tools, because all that is a sin. And many of these things are backed up by science. You know that, right? Somatics, hypnosis, sound healing, all these things, right? And my own inner gift, because I knew I could pray for people and they would feel better, and all those gifts are still there. It's just that I'm using them in different ways, and I couldn't even allow myself to enjoy that, to really share them, because I thought God hates me. Let me know if you have been there. Let me know if you were raised in a very culty church, religion, because that's what it is. I am no longer a religious person. I don't even call myself a Christian. I am a Jesus girl. I'm a God girl, and that works for me. God and I were good. I always say, God, you and I are good. Your people, know so much. Okay, that is what I always say, because it's true. God has not let me down. He did not let me down when the pandemic happened and I left that church, that cult. What happened was that I actually, when I left, I left to find him. I left to find me again, and to listen, and to really listen, and to not let others dictate how I show up, how I dress, how I move. Are you serious right now? And how do I even serve, and who do I get to love? Like, do I not love that person because they're Catholic, or because they're Muslim, or whatever they are? Like, they're excluded from how much kindness I get to you to share with someone, and be understanding. If someone doesn't believe exactly how I believe, if they don't vote the way I vote, now I'm not gonna love on them. I'm gonna condemn them and say Jesus this and that. I'm like, that's not what Jesus did. I'm sorry. That never resonated with me, but I didn't have the words, I didn't have the voice, I just didn't really understand. When I tell you, in this process of healing, in this process of finding myself and understanding that God was not mad at me, He never let me down. He actually allowed all that to happen, for me to spend that money, go all the way there, and come back and go all around. It almost feels like Egypt, when God's people went to left Egypt, and it's like they went all around to the promised land for 40 years, but they could have gotten there very quickly, right? I went this roundabout way to find myself, to find the fact that I am still a God's girl, that God is with me, that all the gifts that He gave me, I still get to use and help His people. I get to do it outside of that fake mantle of everything's a sin. We are the only ones. You don't know nothing. And very narrow thinking. I get to do it from a place of love. I get to do it from a place of, I love you, you love me. You don't love me, that's okay. I still love me. I still love you. And we get to help people. I love that. That's what Jesus was all about. Let's help some people. And what I had to learn, because I remember someone had church, we call that for people in the biz, we call it church hurt. For those of us that have gone through church hurt, um, I didn't understand when someone was going through a really hard time, and I was just got more preachy to them, and I was not compassionate because I didn't really understand. And then once I was in their shoes and I could really understand, I got why they were not using the word God, why it hurt. Because when you're hurt, what you need is a hug. When you're hurting, what you need is for someone to say, I got you. When you hurt, you need someone to pass a gentle, beautiful hand, not someone to like shake you up and yell at you and whack their fingers on their face. No, they need kindness. They need understanding. They need a helping hand. They need someone with a tissue. They need someone with a cup of soup. They need someone to say, you know what? You can be angry at God. He can take it. He can take it. He can wait for you. He understands. He loves you. You want to say the universe, say the universe. You want to say the creator, say the creator. You want to say the Holy One. You want to say Mother Nature, whatever it is you want to say. God is not as a little schoolgirl that gets his feelings hurt. He loves you, and he understands, and he's patient. One of the beautiful and the many things I love about God, now that I can say God again, is that he's patient. And when I ask him for help and I say, can you show me where I'm not seeing the right way? Can you show me gently? Can you be patient with me? Can you not rush the process? And he's such a freaking gentleman. He listens and he loves on me, and he sends the right people, the right coaches, the right programs, and the right healing because he wants me healed so I can help more people. And today I can say, with all the things that I have shared, that I have come full freaking circle. And I love where I am right now. I love the relationship I have with God. It gets better every day. We talk, I pray. Sometimes I still, if I'm honest, sometimes I feel apprehensive and I forget, oh, it's okay to pray. It's okay to talk to God. Just because I don't have that title, I'm not shouting and jumping and doing all these things. I'm still God's girl. He still loves me so freaking much. And I get to love on others. And right now, more than ever, the world needs more love. More than ever, people need someone to say, I can listen to you. I'm listening. I might not understand, but I'm listening. I might not get what you're going through, but I love you and I want the best for you, the very, very, very best. And that's what I'm at today. And that's why the women that I'm helping, they're healers. They also believe in God, and they might call it something else, but they are here to help. They're here to make the world a better place. I think that's our command. That's our job. That's what we're here to do. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing with a different title, maybe, with more love, more kindness, a little more color, more jewelry, more things, right? Doing retreats, taking people to amazing places where they have never been before, where they can be feel safe and seen and appreciated and let go of the chains and be able to be themselves 110%. Listen, 49 years old as the taping of this, the recording of this video, and I have never felt more myself than I do right now. I feel freer, I feel awake, I feel alive, I feel sexy, I feel sensual, I can say that I can say without a doubt that I am exactly where I need to be. And I'm glad that I was broken. I'm glad that the mantle was broken, that the veil was broken and removed, and I'm where I am today. And I'm thankful, I'm grateful, I'm alive, I'm well, I'm happy. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I am a helper. I'm different. I am a lot, and I am so freaking okay with that. And if you're listening, if you're still watching or listening, then more than likely you are also a lot. And you're here to help others. And you have many gifts and talents that others need. And if you need help with that, this might just be the place. I created an amazing school community for women like that, where we can be safe, where I can share all the things that are working, all the behind the scenes about my plans, about plant medicine, about how I'm helping other people, my own journey, all the things. So if that's you, you're like, Kat, I need more of this honesty. I need more of this realness. The school community is where it's at. I'm going to give you the information below. Make sure that you join us because I'm going to be showing all the things there. And I'm showing up there unplugged, real, 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 sharing because I believe that's what the world needs. More importantly, that is what I needed when I started my journey. I needed the retreats that I'm creating. I needed the plant medicine. I needed the pre-rolls. I needed all the things that I'm doing that did not exist. So I'm giving what I needed. So my friend, please know that I love you. Please know that I'm rooting for you. And please know that I see you and that your life can be so much better than it is right now when you can find yourself and heal from the inside out.